I've had this weapon 8 months, 9 months, and since I got it, I've put just under 150 rounds through it. I think I've got 10 or 15 left in the third box. So far, the first box, I had one failure to fire. It failed to fire 3 times before it finally did fire. And so far on this other ammo, which I bought 3 boxes of, I've had 3 or possibly 4 failure to load. The first time it happened, the first thing I did was went home and cleaned my weapon. Today it's happened. I have not cleaned it because I wanted to show about it. I'm going to pull the slide off and show where the round was catching. And there's only 2 things that could make it catch where it did. And that is, one, this ramp isn't an even angle. Or 2, the clip, the spring in the clip doesn't push evenly. That are the only 2 possibilities of what could do it, because it was catching right below where the ramp changes angle on the loading ramp. I took the barrel out on the range. I only did 20, I think 3 rounds today was all I fired. And the other day when I was out, I only fired, I think, 17 or 18 rounds. There is obviously evidence that it's been shot, but it's also still showing oil. Even though I've been oiling it less because I thought that the load error I had was due to oil gummed up on the ramp. I don't know if it's visible on the camera, but the ramp here, you can definitely see the difference in the angle there, and I think that is why I'm having an issue with it not loading properly. And I think I'm definitely going to have to contact Sky about that, because that's not right. It should definitely load. Also, the wear on the rails are uneven, more on the front and the back, not all over. This is where I've been concentrating on oiling heavily, is the rails, because of the fact that that's where the most motion is on the weapon. I did not realize out at the range when I pulled the barrel off, and I didn't look real closely after the last time. However, there is definitely a change there, and it's not a smooth transition. It doesn't look smooth, and I believe that's probably why I'm having load failures, and it could be in combination with the fact that the spring in the clip isn't keeping the nose of the round high enough. But it appears to be doing it, and it had nothing to do with a low power round, because when I shot it, it ejected the cartridge, the empty spent cartridge, as far as any others that I'd shot when it happened. So I'm not really pleased with that. I actually had a friend that used to file his loading ramps on his automatic weapons or semi-automatic weapons to prevent that, but I think I've heard that Sky is really good about warranty on their weapons. I'm gonna give them a buzz and see what we can do about a barrel. But I've been really pleased with this, and like I said, I don't. The first ammo that I had the failure to fire, I just haven't used it since. That was American Eagle. This ammo that I've been had the issues with on the last few have been MagTech, and it seemed, like I said, it seems to, the catch point seems to be just off center to the right, right at that. I don't even know if it's showing. Right at that change in angle, just off center to the right here. But you can even see the change in angle on the camera right there. So I don't think that's right. Actually, the friend of mine that used to file his also coated his bullets with some type of silicone instead of oiling his semi-automatic weapons. I do not know what it was he used. It was something that he used in the trade he was in, and probably not even available because it was something that he used in his trade. But I think if I contact Sky, from everything I've heard, they're really good about warrantying their products. I really don't want to have to send the gun in. It is showing that it's been fired, but I'm not having any problems with accuracy, just with that catching just below the lip on that ramp where they've changed the angle on the loading ramp, and that shouldn't change. That should be, in my opinion, that should be a consistent transition. But when like I said, when I took it apart today, it was oily. It got oil all over my hand. I wiped it. I just didn't really look at it close, but it's always been just below where that transition is, where they all seem to be catching. And it does seem to happen more with less rounds in the clip. I don't know if that's a major deal or not, but other than that, I've been real happy with this weapon. If I can find, I'm in Mom's craft room, and we've been trying to organize it so things aren't as easy to find as they had been. Around sits in it here, and because of that, oops, the overall barrel length is only 78 millimeters, it appears, and at least without it in the gun, it's not loading the first, looks like 3 millimeters, so 75 millimeter, that's a 3-inch barrel, and the casing is taking up 16 millimeters of that, so it's not a real long barrel. And besides the, like I said, besides the length of the barrel affecting accuracy, although I'm getting better with that, with my accuracy, with the shorter barrel. I've been really happy with it until these last two or few episodes with the failure to load. Uh, like I said, the rounds, I don't seem to be having light loads or anything. The the cases are ejecting relatively the same distance, and they're all 15 to 20 degrees forward or back of me to the right, and roughly 20 to 25 feet. So I'm real happy with that until the problems with this ramp. But I'll contact them. Maybe they'll send me another barrel, so I don't have to send the whole gun. I don't know, but I'm gonna give them a call, I guess, tomorrow. It was already after hours in Florida, so I wasn't able to call them from the range. I'm gonna try getting in touch with them, like I said, tomorrow. I'm not a real fan of doing everything electronically. I actually like to talk to people. Oh, there's there's a scuff on the front of this barrel. Sure, it doesn't affect the firing of the weapon, but it's there, probably from being in the holster and having the open bottom holster. I rubbed against something. But like I said, besides the failure to load on this last few, catching on that transition on the loading ramp, everything about the weapon has been good. I'm not a real fan of the finger, because my fingers are bigger than the but I do like the bottom plate on the clip. Wish it were a little more solid, but once it's in the weapon, it's not, well, yeah, it still wobbles. But I'm gonna finish cleaning this, put it together, put it back on my hip. I do, just for the record, cycle my clips so that I don't wear out springs because I carry it. I do try to make sure that I keep them as good as possible by changing them out. This one that is currently in the weapon, I changed out about 2 weeks ago. I have put a few rounds through the other one, but when I go to the range, I usually only do 5 to 8 rounds. I don't fully load the clip because I'm checking how I'm shooting. I'm not worried about having a fully loaded weapon at that point. But thanks for watching. Just thought I would do a heads up on my likes and dislikes about this weapon. Maybe they could do something about how the fit is on this, so it may be a little bit longer front, top to bottom, so that it does travel straighter. But I really think that the issue is the loading ramp more than the clip. Thanks for watching. You know the drill. Have a good one. Stay happy.